Zaster, look at this guy, standing right in the middle of a crowd, and nobody, not a single person, even knows he exists. It's like he's wearing a giant invisible sign that screams, "Please ignore me," and the worst part, he has no idea he's wearing it. He keeps asking himself, why doesn't anyone take me seriously? What am I doing wrong? He has zero clue. But then something clicks. One single realization hits him like lightning, and everything is about to change. Because the difference between the person nobody notices and the person everyone respects, it's not talent, it's not looks, it's 5 specific behaviors, and you're about to learn all of them. Here's something nobody tells you. The human brain sorts people into boxes within seconds of meeting them. Boring box, easy box, and the most dangerous one of all, the invisible box. If you're always the first one to volunteer, always available, always raising your hand before anyone even finishes asking, congratulations, you've just handed everyone around you a remote control to your life. When your default answer to everything is yes, people stop valuing your yes. They start expecting it. And a yes that's always available is worth absolutely nothing. This is the invisible box. You can see everyone. Everyone can technically see you. But nobody is actually looking at you. You've become background noise. Step 1 starts here. In a room full of noise, you've been the quiet one, letting everyone else dominate, letting your thoughts die in your throat before they ever become words. But watch what happens the moment you say something unexpected, something direct, something that cuts through the noise. Every single head in that room turns, silence, and suddenly you're not background anymore. Or try this. Next time someone loads you up with their problems, just say, "I can't do this today." Calm, clean, no explanation. Watch the shock on their face. That shock, that's respect being born. Because the moment you stop being predictable, people's brains short-circuit. They think, wait, who is this person? Did they just change? And that question is the beginning of everything. Their brain literally starts recalculating you, like a GPS that suddenly lost signal and has to find a new route. You've disrupted their mental model of who you are, and that disruption is pure power. Just like that, you go from a grey outline that nobody notices to the boldest figure in the room. Same person, completely different signal. Step 2. Look at this. Phone lights up and he practically dives across the room for it, responding within seconds, every single time, no exceptions. He stares at conversations, refreshes, waits. His entire energy orbits around other people's schedules, and without realizing it, he's broadcasting one very loud message. I have nothing more important going on than you. He shows up 45 minutes early, sits alone, waits like he was summoned. Every minute he sits there, a little more of his value drains out of the room before anyone even arrives. Here's the fix. Someone calls your name. Instead of spinning around instantly like a trained reflex, hold up one finger, finish your sentence, then turn. That one finger just told the entire room that your focus has a price. Walk into every room like you already belong there, not like you're hoping for permission, not scanning for approval, like the room was waiting for you. Because energy doesn't lie, and everyone feels yours before you speak. Phone goes off, again and again, and he just sets it face down, keeps moving, unbothered. That single action communicates more confidence than any speech ever could. Your time is either valuable or it isn't, and you're the one who decides which story people believe, not by announcing it, by living it, every single day. When you treat your time like currency, something invisible but undeniable forms around you, a shield made entirely of self-respect, and people can feel it from across the room. Step 3. And this one might sting a little. He just apologized to a wall. A wall? Does this sound familiar? Because most people are one step away from this. Sorry to ask, but sorry to interrupt, but sorry, I was just thinking. Every time you pre-apologize for existing, you hand people a script, and that script says, treat me like I'm in the way. When sorry becomes your wallpaper, people stop hearing it as an apology. They start hearing it as a personality. And that personality tells them exactly how much, or how little, to respect you. Without knowing it, he's been broadcasting the same signal for years. A tiny internal voice that leaks out through every over-apology, every hesitation, every shrink. I'm not sure I belong here. Same situation, two completely different responses. On the left, sorry I'm late. On the right, thanks for waiting. The crowds reek. Delete this phrase from your vocabulary right now. Sorry to bother you. Replace it with, hey, got a minute? One phrase begs for tolerance, the other requests attention. The difference in how people respond will shock you. I think. 2 words. No apology before them. No sorry, I might be wrong attached after them. Just, I think. And suddenly everyone leans in, because confidence without a disclaimer is magnetic. This takes practice, because sorry is a reflex now. It fires automatically. So you practice in front of the mirror, you catch it, you cross it out, you replace it, every single time, until the reflex changes. And then something wild happens. You stop apologizing, and people stop treating you like an inconvenience. They stand straighter when they talk to you. They choose their words more carefully, because you chose yours. Step 4 hits different. Most people are terrified of silence, genuinely terrified. 3 seconds of quiet and they're already sweating, scrambling, reaching for any word at all, just to fill the void. So they talk, and talk, and talk. The speech bubble gets longer and longer until it wraps around the entire room, and somewhere in all that noise, every meaningful thing they had to say completely disappears. Over-explaining is the silent killer of credibility. The more you explain, the less people trust the explanation. Watch their eyes glaze over. Watch them tune out. The longer you talk, the smaller you become. Here's the weapon. Someone asks you something. Before you say a single word, count to 2. Silently, internally. 2 full seconds of nothing. Then speak. That pause just multiplied the value of everything you're about to say. Everyone around him is twitching with impatience, waiting, getting restless, and that restlessness. That's them craving what you're about to say. Make them wait for it. When you finally speak, they lean in. Fast talking says, please validate me before I finish. Slow talking says, I already know what I'm about to say is worth your time. One has shaky lines, the other has solid ones. The difference is visible from a mile away. Think of your words as currency. Flood the market with loose change and it becomes worthless. Drop solid gold coins slowly, deliberately, and every single one lands with weight. Step 5. Everything's on fire, papers flying, people running, pure chaos, and he just stands there, still, calm, unbothered. Not because he doesn't care, because he's the only one in the room who isn't being controlled by the chaos. In any negotiation, any conflict, any high-pressure moment, the person who needs the outcome least holds all the power. Leaning back while the other person leans forward desperate is not a posture, it's a statement. Every single person in that crowd is drifting toward the one walking away, not the one begging, because desperation repels, options attract, and even if you don't have 100 options, you have to move like you do. Watch what happens when he absorbs it, takes it, lets it in. His shoulders drop by an inch, then another. He physically shrinks, and every time he shrinks, the person treating him badly grows bolder. Now watch this instead. Same situation, same bad treatment, but this time, he says absolutely nothing. He just turns and walks. No drama, no argument, no explanation. Just gone. Look at that face. Pure shock. Panic. Because this was never supposed to happen. They had a script in their head, and he just threw it in the trash. The one who walks away owns the room, even after they've left it. The moment you show people you're willing to exit, they suddenly find their manners. Funny how that works. You weren't asking for respect. You were demonstrating that you require it, and there's a massive difference. Drop the rope. Just let it go. Stop pulling. Stop fighting. Stop trying to win an argument that was never worth having. The other side falls flat on their back, and you walk away without a single scratch. This invisible wall costs nothing to build. No anger, no confrontation, no explanation required. It's built entirely out of self-respect, and once it goes up, the right people stop trying to tear it down. The wrong ones reveal themselves immediately. 5 doors, 5 shifts, and with every single one he walks through, he gets taller, more defined, more solid, not louder, not more aggressive, just more himself, which turns out to be the most powerful thing a person can be. Here's the truth about all of this. The person in the mirror was always there. You weren't building someone new. You were removing everything that was hiding the version of you that commands respect without asking for it. Same person, same brain, same history. Left side, dashed lines, hunched, barely there. Right side, solid, upright, glowing. The only thing that changed was what he decided to stop tolerating, starting with his own habits. He walks down that hallway and something shifts in the air. People part. Heads turn. Not because he demanded it, not because he announced himself, because energy moves through a space before a person does, and his arrived first. You hold the remote. My time, my words, my space, my energy. Every button belongs to you. The moment you hand that remote to someone else, you've given them control of the show, and most people don't even realize they've been handing it out for years. You don't climb that mountain to prove something to the people watching from below. You climb it because you stopped waiting for someone else to plant your flag for you. I matter. Not a question. Not a request. A declaration. He used to drift to the back automatically, like gravity was pulling him there. But now, he doesn't even think about it. He's at the front, not because he pushed anyone, because he stopped pushing himself out of the way. Why did you change? The confused ones always ask this, and the honest answer is, I didn't change. I just stopped shrinking to fit the space you assigned me. That smile says everything. The words don't need to. Watch this happen in real life. It starts with one person noticing the shift, then 3, then 10. They're not following a loud voice or a flashy personality. They're being pulled towards something quieter and far more rare. Someone who actually knows their own worth. No, one word, no apology after it, no lengthy explanation, no guilt written across his face, just no. Calm, bright, clean. And somehow that single word earned him more respect than 100 enthusiastic yeses ever did. Everyone is talking at once. The noise is deafening, and right in the centre of it, he sits with his eyes closed and a calm smile, not checked out, not passive, just completely unshaken. That stillness in a storm is louder than any voice in that room. Silence is magnetic, not the uncomfortable kind that comes from having nothing to say, the deliberate kind that comes from having no need to perform. That magnetism is invisible, but it's the strongest force in any social situation. He hasn't said a word. He's in the corner. Nobody asked for his attention, but one by one, heads begin to turn. Because in a world that won't stop talking, a person who chooses quiet becomes the most interesting thing in the room. 10 people, 10 speech bubbles, 9 of them crowding, overlapping, cancelling each other out, and then one sentence, short, direct, and it towers over all the rest. The rarest thing in a loud world is someone who says less and means more. They came for advice. He leans back, takes one slow breath, and delivers 2 words, just 2. And everyone in the room reaches for something to write with, because wisdom doesn't need a lot of space. It just needs to be real. Look at the footprints. One trail is scattered, uneven, rushed, tripping over itself to get somewhere. The other is deliberate, measured, each step placed with intention. You can tell everything about a person from how they move through a room. That bubble isn't arrogance. It isn't coldness. It's the physical expression of a boundary that was built quietly over time. And notice, nobody crosses it. Not because they were told not to, because it radiates a message they all understand without words. Eye contact is a conversation before the conversation starts. When you hold someone's gaze, not aggressively, just steadily, you're telling them, I see you, I'm here, I'm not afraid of this moment, and that's one of the rarest things another person can feel. He gets interrupted, and instead of stopping, instead of deferring, instead of shrinking, he just keeps going, calmly, finishes his sentence, and the person who interrupted stands there waiting awkwardly. Boundaries don't need to be announced, they just need to be held. Watch what happens with every step. The glow gets brighter. Not because confidence was added from outside, because fear was stripped away from inside. Confidence isn't something you find. It's what's left when you stop talking yourself out of it. He said no, and they nodded, not with frustration, with respect. Because how you decline matters as much as the fact that you do. Clean, calm, no guilt, and somehow the relationship is stronger after the no than it ever was during all the yeses. He didn't announce himself, didn't clear his throat, didn't need anyone to introduce him. He just walked in, and the room shifted. Because presence isn't about volume, it's about the frequency you're transmitting, and everyone in that room just received it. 3 empty chairs, and somehow there's a competition for them. Not because he's performing, not because he's trying, because scarcity is real. And a person who genuinely doesn't need your company is the person everyone most desperately wants nearby. He throws it away. The whole bag. Years of people-pleasing, over-apologizing, shrinking, performing, hoping someone would finally hand him the respect he was too afraid to claim. Gone. Into the trash. And watch how much taller he walks without it. Cross it out. All of it. Always available. Always sorry. Always rushing. Always invisible. This checklist wasn't your identity. It was your hiding place. And you've been hiding long enough. Now write the new one. Valued time. Intentional words. Confident silence. Ready to walk away from anything that doesn't meet your standard. This isn't a wish list. This is a decision. And decisions are the only things that actually change anything. Same crowd, same room, but this time every single person is facing him, every eye on him, and above it all, one word glowing in the air. Respect. He didn't demand it, didn't beg for it, didn't perform for it. He just finally stopped doing the things that were pushing it away. Now go do the same. Pick one thing from today, one, and try it before this day is over. Then come back and tell me what changed, because it will.